guys have done some good work, good talking for sure. So guys, here would be my first thought on this one. I've got this whole product right here raised to the power of 2, and so I'm going to basically raise every factor inside to the power of 2. So this would be 3 squared times x to the negative 8. This would be that situation where we multiply our exponents. And then,
wait, why would it be negative?
because negative 4 times positive 2 is negative 8.
I knew that.
And then y to the 3 squared would be y to the 3 times 2, which would be y to the 6th. So what do you guys think about that so far? Do you have any questions? Sure, I'm just showing you step by step. Any other questions? So then, of course, I've got to realize that this has a negative exponent, and the other two factors do not. So the 3 has a positive exponent, so it's going to stay right where it is in the numerator. The y also has a positive exponent, so it's going to stay, again, exactly where it is. However, the x to the negative 8 clearly has a negative exponent, so it needs to flip to the other level. So in this case, it's going to flip down. So that would be over x to the 8. So if you wanted to, you could write 9y to the 6th over x to the 8. Oop.
I was thinking that the negative 4 was made positive 8. That can really mess up a lot.
Take your time, go slow. It's easy to lose little things and think that it's something else when it's really not. Okay. Any other questions on number 1? Okay, number 2. There certainly is something unique. You see that y to the 0?
Oh, yeah.
That's going to come into play for sure. But I'm looking at this first factor here, and I see that the whole thing is raised to the 3rd power. So I would rewrite this as 2 to the 3rd times x to the 15. And then it would be y to the what?
No, just be 1.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there in a second, but it would be y to the 0 because 0 times 3 is 0. Okay. And then I would leave this part alone for the moment. So at this stage, what I could do is I could combine my y's, and I could also combine my x's, like so. So if I did that, I would get 8 x to the what?
11.
This is where you add your exponents, right? So it'd be 11, 8x to the 11th. Y to the what? Negative 2. Okay. 0 plus negative 2 is negative 2. And then our last step would be to go through and realize which bases have positive exponents and which ones have negative exponents. So the 8, what kind of an exponent does the 8 have? A 1. Positive, yep. So that's going to stay right where it is in the numerator. And the x also has a positive exponent, so it's going to stay right where it is. However, this time the y has a negative exponent. Remember, a negative exponent is telling us to flip it to the other level, so it's going to flip down, and we'd end up with that. Okay, what do you guys think? Questions, concerns? You all had a chance to kind of work those on your own, so hopefully you got them right. If you made a mistake, that's maybe even better. It's okay. Perfect. Okay. So then numbers 3 and 4. Please take a minute if you have not already looked at those. And look at those. Numbers 3 and 4. Love to hear what you all thought about this one. Any suggestions on how to proceed with number 4? What do you think, Josh?
I say get rid of the parentheses.
Okay, that's fine. So y squared times z to the 5th times y to the negative 9th times z to the negative 4th. So Josh's idea is totally fine. We just turn it into what it really is, really just a big multiplication problem. They're not really like terms. Combine the like bases maybe would be a way to say it. Okay, so if we do what Josh said, and we think about what was Noel just said, I've got a pair of y bases. So if I were to multiply the y squared times the y to the negative 9th, that would give me y to the That's when you add your exponents, right? When you're multiplying bases. Times z to the what? Z to the first, right? Because 5 plus negative 4. And of course, you could just leave it blank if you wanted, right? Means the same thing. I like that. And then your last step would be to recognize that although the z has a positive exponent, the y has a negative exponent, so the z stays right where it is in the numerator, and the y flips from the numerator down to the denominator, so it'd be z over y to the 7 for a final expression. So now's a great opportunity for you to ask questions. If anything I just did or anything suggested by your classmates just makes no sense, I get it. No? Okay. Fair enough. So we'll go to the board for a few minutes here. If you would, grab a spot and a marker.
That song is the best thing. I love it. What am I doing?
That's X. That's not a Y.
Whitman. Yes. Mom, like, videoed my showcase, like, really high tech. I was kind of. Oh, I want to erase that so
They need big gloves. Hot, got him.
Double check what you've got. Folks in the back row, double check, we agree? X to the 28 over y to the 20? Okay.
That does not look like an O. Yeah, except you like came all the way back.
All right, here we go. This will be our last one.
Oh, guys, we got a new one.
Well, I'm gonna be last one done.
Chill.
No, I am. Okay, I'm gonna need barely starting. You're just gonna need Is that a 3?
That's a 3, yep. Okay, this will be a little more challenging.
Going right there. What? What?
I'm sorry.
That's. I'm listening.
No. What's 2?
I love how you're like talking to me, Allie, but I'm the one that's.
What's 2 to the negative? Is that an insult? Honey.
She always insults me.
I kind of go. It's funny. No. Dude, that is correct. No, it's not. It's simplified, but it's correct.
Get wrecked.
No, it's not. I don't know what you're doing.
Get wrecked, my board.
I am so.
Wait, but if you have a negative 4,
You are happy. No,
what? I don't know how to do this.
How did you do that?
Same spot. Guys, I don't know how to do this. How do you? Okay, stop.
I don't know why we need to be
I'm just gonna go with what Kyrie said.
right.
Wait, but do you have to like flip the negative 4 for 4? Yeah, how do I don't know where to go. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, negative 4.
Listen, that is beautiful.
What's
So,
negative 12?
well, you lost your square, unfortunately, on the first one. This one is square. Okay, go ahead, here, here, starting.
I fixed it.
I can fix it.
Okay, I'm just
Hold
gonna
on,
go
it's
with
9
16.
x to the 4th, and then this would be 20.
Okay, now stop, before you, hey, listen.
No.
Before you make that, give up, I'm so lost. Let me encourage you. Every single thing you've done so far, every single thing you've done is right on the money. Now you just got to deal with trying to simplify it, put it all together, and get things like that.
Hey, done, bro. I don't know.
Broski.
I feel like you could
So,
combine.
start simple, start super simple.
Okay. I don't actually.
Oh, careful, right? These two are not very.
Yeah. Oh.
The 9 can go or stay, the x to the whatever it is, 4 can go or stay.
Hey, what's the answer?
X.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay.
9 times 16.
See what else is making us wrong.
Okay, thanks. 144.
I'm so lost.
I have yet to see a perfect answer.
No,
But I have been back here.
Wait.
Oh my god.
Wait,
You're right.
What's 2 negative 4?
No, I don't know how you got
What's 2
that.
negative 4? Y to the negative 10.
No, you subtract the 20, so then you get.
I know. Hold on. Just
Oh,
before you
so
do that.
no, eventually, yeah, it would be like.
2 to the positive 4 is
Literally what we got.
No, you have 1.4 over.
No, you're wrong.
No, I'm right.
You're wrong. Get out of here. Get out of here, Patty.
Sorry, you should have added it.
How are we doing? Josh. Forgot. So hang on.
That was an easy one.
What do you mean?
No, I got a 6.
I put a 3. I put a 5. I put a 5.
It's okay, he got a 50.
Kill me now.
What did you do with this?
What?
Mr. Anderson?
What?
I'm lost.
Aiden just lost me in like it's okay. It's like
Ava,
Team Ava got a 50. And stop. Wait, what did you
Yeah,
get?
I wasn't the one that got a 50.
Whoa.
Ava got a 50.
What did you get? 95.
I wouldn't really care because half of my team is. Yeah.
That was a bad throw.
Oh my gosh, I'm so lost.
That's my final answer.
Last team.
What the heck is happening?
Hey, thanks for giving me the answer. That's what I.
Someone's like, why do you have this big
That was me. That was her.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta get them on like the back or somewhere they can't see.
I'm kidding.
He didn't even get you.
I know. I will kill you.
Okay,
I have my knives.
You have your knives?
do it.
What? You carry around knives? That's nasty.
Wait.
I only got this from
Don't draw.
Stop! Stop!
Oh my gosh.
Ava, I'm
This
on
looks
your
like people trying to solve like stuff in NASA.
Actually,
Oh, it is -7.
it's like,
Hallie, you
all
dyed your
right.
hair?
I am so lost.
You dyed your hair black?
Like Hallie.
Oh my gosh. Wow, Ava, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Stop touching my hair. I have the same thing as
Looking
you,
at the
Hallie.
blue dot in your hair.
No, I have the same thing as you. Wait, but where did I get negative? I've done my
Yeah, I got you, man.
I have negative 7. Oh, I know where I got that.
I have
color then. I know, he has like baby juice. Josh. No, like underneath his hair. Look,
so
Look, her scrunchie matches her shirt. Look at
Oh my gosh.
it matches.
I like this.
They are not. They're cheap.
Come meet my friend Gerald.
They're then not.
Move, Chase. When
These are shoes from
They're dirty white shoes.
how did you get it?
I present to you, Gerald.
I present to you the correct answer.
Okay.
That is not very dirty.
Where'd you get like 140?
Where are you getting that from?
I am so lost.
What the?
How did you get that?
That's the correct answer.
No one knows. Oh my god. I just look at my answer. Oh my god.
It's like you're just used to it. I come up to you and go like this. And you're like, hi, hi.
I don't even know
Wow.
what I did.
Must be a couple of the year.
Honey,
Wow.
I'm home.
That was good joke.
10 out of 10.
No, honey, I did this earlier today. I was doing a project and it
Me and
was
Whitman can do that too.
and I go,
No, I went like,
No.
but I saw like
you're jealous of our relationship. Okay, me and Tanner.
Hey guys, hey,
Okay, like,
listen, Josh. Man, when I start talking, do you know what you do? You talk louder. Stop doing that.
Okay.
I know I'm interrupting, and I'm totally aware of that. I don't know if you see that as being rude or not. I have to interrupt. If I waited, you would be here till 3 p.m. and you'd still be yakking, right?
Good.
Okay. Hey, let me show you this. Let me show you the answer really quick. A lot of you are pretty darn close.
What the heck?
But there is, hey, there's going to be a temptation to get like that. So here's the answer. Guys, hey, before you say what the and give up and do all that stuff, can I explain this to you?
Yes, please.
Please check this out. Let me erase this and ask you a question. You just be honest about this. Do you understand? I'll highlight it. Do you guys understand that?
Yes.
This is where you say no if your answer is no.
Yes.
All right. Do y'all understand that?
Yes.
Yep.
Please say no if something doesn't make sense. How about that? Do you guys understand that? Negative 5 times 2 for the exponent?
Yes.
Okay. How about this? Do you guys understand that?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like y to the 1 to the negative 4. Again, we're just multiplying all of our exponents here, right? You guys understand this?
Yes.
I'm guessing that most people that are struggling with this one, it's that maybe you don't understand. So let me go off to the side. I'll go off to the side here to show you. 2 to the 4th is definitely 16. 2 to the negative 4th is definitely not that.
There's parentheses around the 2.
Doesn't matter. I don't care if there's parentheses or not. It's still not going to be this. What does a negative exponent mean, my friends? It doesn't mean to make the base negative. It's not what it means. It means flip the base to the other level. So, when I get to my next stage here, let's see here. I could combine this and this. That would give me x to the negative 8. I could combine this with this. That would be y to the negative 14th. I still have this 2 to the negative 4th running around out there. This is where all I would do, I would not get all hyped up about simplifying it too far too fast. At this stage, all I'm going to do is ask myself, does the base have a positive exponent or a negative exponent? How about the 9? Positive or negative exponent?
Positive.
9 has a positive exponent, so it stays. The x has a, so it goes. The y, stay with me, guys, finish.
Focus.
The y has a, so it flips. And the 2 has a negative exponent, so it also flips. Now, 2 to the 4th is 16, and that's where you get 9 over 16, x to the 8, y to the 14.
So I made it a lot harder than it used to be.
Okay. Hey, thank you guys. I'm going to hand out your, whoa. Josh. I'm going to hand back your concept quizzes from last night.
Are you a werewolf?
Colton, I got yours right here. Here's your concept quiz, Joe. And yours.
Wait, should we ask him one?
Ava,
I've got mine.
hurry up and hear your name. Joe,
What if you
Ava,
said these aren't?
Kelly, Victoria, Raya.
That's worth it.
That's yours, Victoria, that's yours.
Kyrie, look at this. What if you said J's aren't real? Can't forget the distressed dead on the street of
Always.
Kyrie, I was gonna compare it with you, but do you want to get food or no? No. What? Nah. I've eaten so much. Yeah, I had some waffles. See, I have waffles and that muffin.
Dude, free now to make that
Well, I gave you the idea for that. So technically, you only got the answer because of me. Guess what, Callie? Mine said these aren't real.
Do you know? And these are real. No! This is worse than I thought.
Have you listened to that? What'd you get? Gerald's growing so slow.
I'm coming. I'm going. Callie, do you want to tell him what to do?
That's it.
Look at that. That's what I got. Ava. Texted me. Callie, who texted me? I didn't check. I'm checking. Emma Brand. Oh, are you kidding me? I could have got that right. Why did Emma text me?
So your degree is 3.
We're gonna be late.
No idea.
Kyrie, wait. So Kyrie and I both are gonna retake quizzes. We have yellow and purple off tomorrow. Do you have?
Have to be yellow? Well, no, it wouldn't have to be yellow. It could be purple. I've got a class then, but you could come in.
Okay, purple. Awesome. Thank you.
Ah, wait, hold on.